It is time for my 2 cents. What do I think of every scheme in D1 for MRL? My opinions, I'm going to do this in a tier list. I'm going to do a little different than AIRL. This one's going to be a little bit more thought out, a little bit more heavily edited, and a little bit more professional, I guess you could say it. But it's also going to be a little bit more fun. So, we got 17 cars to go through, I believe, and a 26-minute showcase, with the front part being Yummy doing his infinite wisdom talking. But, I mean, we should just get straight into it, right? First up, Dan. Dan in the Bass Pro Shops. AC Racing, 37 Dodge Intrepid, I believe. First up, I already don't like Dodges because of how I had to make the graphics and stuff, so down points for that. The scheme, I mean, alright, it's a tracker boat car, but it doesn't have a lot of design for it. It's got lines, it's got camouflage, I guess you could say. I can't see the front bumper of this car, but it's also got orange. But you also got to think of who this is for. This is for Dan. Dan is a basic driver. He gets a basic car. I think it fits him. I think this is a perfect C tier car. So, first off, first scheme is a C. Not bad. All right, William's car. I'm gonna be real. I don't know how I feel about this one. It's those Xfinity cars from like the 2010s. It's just Flex Seal. There is nothing to this car other than Flex Seal and bright red. It is basic. And you know, it kind of works. Because it's just Flex Seal. They had a lot of... They were in NASCAR for a while. I still don't like it. I'm putting it in D tier. But Junior Smith finally gets a beautiful car. I've been preaching for this for 2 seasons that Junior should get a beautiful car, and he gets one. The blue, beautiful. The blue is beautiful. But unfortunately, the rest of this car doesn't have much going for it. This line works, but it doesn't work when it gets up to the front. There's like a blue line at the bottom here. I mean, scrutinizing it, of course, is going to make it lower on the scale anyway. But I feel like there could have been a little bit more. I don't know. Maybe I'm just being a little bit too nitpicky. I'm still going to put it up in... no, I can't put it in S. I'm going to put it in A. Next up, Hedge. The person I thought was retiring. Well, Hedge is continuing with the kind of Jeff Gordon look and now driving in Drive to End Hunger, 82 Dodge. It's alright. I mean, it's not much. It's kind of running that kind of older looking kind of car. It looks like it's from the Nextel era. The number doesn't really match up too well with that, but still works in my opinion. I don't know. It's mid. It's good. It's not bad looking at it. It's just like it's just I don't know how to explain it. It's just B tier. What we got? We got J. Is this different than last season? Okay. Looking at last season, it's different, but not in a really big way. I don't know. I almost think I kind of prefer the old one. The placement of the Hertz, it's just kind of close to the wheel well. And this, I mean, I like the red. It looks nice, I guess, but it's just very basic. There's nothing really going on. It's not bad. It's just not good. I'm put it in D. Alrighty, I can tell you this car hasn't changed. Q. Good to see Q run this car, because this car actually is pretty... This is a good car. It was a good design last season. It's still a good design this season. I'm glad he's running it again. It's the Q car. I'm going to put... Let's see, where am I going to put Q? I'm going to put Q in A tier. This is an A tier car. Okay. Before... It's my team. I made the cars. Expect me to be biased here. But I'm going to try to be realistic. But let's start with Avento. Avento, the Logitech 24 Ford Taurus. I don't know. I feel like I might have to do some rearranging here then. Hold on. I'm going to put last minute change. I'm putting Junior in S tier. Junior's car is S tier. Avento's car, I'm going to put it in A. This is the design on the side. I wasn't too much of a fan of. It just looked like random shapes to me. And where the Logitech logo is, Definitely a very nice looking scheme. It just didn't come out how I wanted it to. And I run a very similar scheme in the truck series for AIRL. And I think I did that one better than this because that was an actual truck and it made sense. All right, Spongy. This is Moneyline 29. You know, I'm putting this in. No, that's Logic's number. Oops. The 29. I can't give this more than a C. I've been trying to find a replacement for this scheme the entire offseason since I made it, and I haven't found anything that'll beat it, and I don't know why. I just don't like it. I just don't like the design. It was the first one I made for the team, and I kind of wish it wasn't, because I just don't like it. There's just something about it I don't like. I mean, it's solid, but that's all it is. It's just a solid car, and it wasn't what I wanted. Next up, Coma. Another car I didn't like while making, but got very, very popular. Coma's car, it's, the more I look at it, the more I work with it, it's a good car. I'm putting it in A tier. Yeah, I'm putting it in A tier. I would have preferred Josh Berry's version of the iRacing car than this one, but unfortunately, I couldn't get my way. All right, the last one for Tman Motorsports, Barry, the Sunny D 88 Ford Taurus. This one, you already know where it's going. It's going A tier. I mean, not A tier, S tier. It's going to S tier. This car took so long to make, but it was well worth the wait and the amount of time I put into it. This is a beautiful car. Barry has got probably the best cars on the grid with his secondary car as well. And I ain't gonna lie, this is gonna be a standout car. You don't see a bright car like this on track, really. I mean, there's bright cars, but this one is the most pronounced bright car, in my opinion. So I think it'll stand out, and it looks amazing. Oh, look, it's the... Oh, we're going to skip through how I messed up on this one. Casual. Controversial opinion, this is an F-tier scheme. Yeah, it's editing Tman here, and I explained this part really badly. I mean, I gave it an F-tier, so I got to explain why I gave it an F-tier. So, this Exalta car is disappointing in my opinion because it's extremely basic. It looks like I could have made this in MS Paint. For real. That's why I give it an F tier. I went on explaining how it was disappointing for an Exalta rainbow car and how it could have been done better, and it's just lines. I mean, rainbow colors are just lines, but this looks like it was literally made in MS Paint, so that's why it's so low on the tier list. I think it could have done better because it just looks like it was made in paint. I was kind of expecting more, but I mean, this would be on... I mean, it's not bad. In retrospect, this is not a bad car. It's just that, compared to the rest, I don't like this. Next up, another rookie. Another rookie, Ginty. Ginty running the classic FOE. He always runs this car. And, you know, it's a solid car. I mean, it's hard to mess up a car that you've run so many times. This is definitely... I'm going to put this in B tier. It's nothing crazy, but it works. My least favorite part about this car is the blue Goodyear. Why? Why blue? Either make it white or keep it yellow. Why blue? Time for the most overhyped car in existence. The 8 Whataburger car. This car was so hyped. Everyone was saying, this is going to be the best car on the track. And I'm here to tell you, I disagree. Heavily disagree. After everyone saw it, they're like, oh wow, that was the most overhyped car. I knew it from the start. This car, I didn't like from the start. I didn't like the design on the side. I thought it could look okay, but I like the classic Whataburger car that Nanners ran last season. I think it looks better than this. The contingencies not being fit with the scheme at all. The actual design on the scheme kind of just not making sense to me. I could see what was going on. This was such a letdown to me. I can't put it in D tier because it overall it is a good car, but this is a C tier car in my opinion. All right, the last car in the LSR family of cars, it's CHvan. And I've heard a couple of opinions about this car, and I don't know if I really agree with them. This looks like a standard Lowe's car to me. Nothing special, nothing great. I see the concerns with stuff not really lining up around the entire car, especially in the front. But I think this fits CHvan very well. And I'm gonna put it in B tier. I think it's a good-looking car. I mean, yeah, sure, it's not gonna blow me out of the water, but it works. I think it works very well. Next up, Alpha's car. So this is the start of All-Star Racing's 3 entries, and we're starting off with an F. This is the worst car of the lineup. I said that Casual had the worst car. I was joking. This is the worst car in the lineup. It is a Monster Energy car. Now, I've seen a good Monster Energy car in MRL. Morgan drove it. It was a great Monster Energy car, and Yummy made it, and it was a long time ago. Even back then, this is just, like, even the Monster Energy doesn't even line up here at the back. Like, it's getting clipped into the wheel. This placement doesn't make any sense. This car just doesn't work. It's a basic Monster Energy car with nothing on it. Not a single thing is on this car but Monster Energy and a number. I know it's what he wanted, but it's still the worst. Next up, Radiant number 5. I'm a little bit biased on this one as I kind of helped out with this one a little bit, and I mean, I think it came out great in the end. This is an A-tier car. It's not an Alan Kowicki throw together. This is kind of its own thing. And Radiant did a very good job while making this team, and I think the colors actually clash together very well. The light blue and the orange with the lines going down the side. Everything works together with itself. It's a great car. I'm putting it in A tier. And last but not least, Logic. Logic in his Spotify car. You know, I did not see this car up until the showcase, and I was pleasantly surprised. This is a great looking car. I cannot lie. The stripe on the side or the swoosh on the side looks great. The UAW placement's great. The Spotify placements are great. This is much better than what Logic came up with for the race that doesn't exist. And, you know, this may be a little bit controversial. I'm putting this in S tier. This is an S tier car in my opinion. This is a car I love looking at. And I kind of wish Spotify was one of my sponsors so I could have a car that ran this. It is a great looking car. Alrighty, that wraps up the tier list, all the schemes. Here is my tier list. I'm going to go and take a second and rearrange these and how I feel they're appropriate. So towards the letters is higher up and the other way, left to right, of course. So give me a moment and I'm going to go do that. Alrighty, after doing some last minute changes, I have come up with my list of cars. Barry getting number 1 on the spot. I'm saying it is the best car on the lineup, and I think the secondary is the best car on the lineup as well. I think they're actually both beautiful cars, and they're just, I can't pick one over the other. But Barry's Sunny D car is amazing. Logic up in second. I think that Spotify car is chef's kiss. I think it's beautiful. And Junior in third. The blue just wins me over. That shade of blue and how it's used in a gradient and how it looks on the car. I just wish if it was just the white line and the bottom half of the car was designed just a little bit better, I think that would be number 1. But it lands in number 3. A tier, Avento, Radiant, Coma, Q. All very solid schemes, all very good. It's kind of hard to rate some of the, especially with Avento and Radiant, it's hard to rate those two, but maybe that's the Tman's motorsports bias coming in there. B tier, Ginty, a very solid scheme, and then we have Hedge and CH Fan. Hedge just having a little bit more of originality there. I think, I don't really know, I haven't seen that scheme run. C tier, Nanners, the disappointment car, Spongy, and Dan being the lowest on here, as this is arguably probably almost just as basic as Alpha's. D tier, we have William and Jay, just kind of missed the ball in those two, or it's just not interesting. And F tier, where I really think I don't like these schemes, I just don't like them, as these two. Alpha, you know what, Alpha, you're gonna get your own tier. After class. Oh, we should put the angry face on there. Yeah. What color? We're gonna give it this weird whatever. And yeah, there we go. This is the complete tier list. I hope you guys enjoyed my maybe slightly controversial tier list. I'll show it to the group members, maybe even get their reactions. We'll see. I'm curious to see what they think. You know what? Let's go do that. Let's go see what they think. Let's go see what they think. And that is wild. Oh, okay. I want you guys to tell. I want you guys' reaction on my tier list. This is on Scheme tier list. Scheme tier list.